So, Trippin with the Kandasamys is on Netflix. I watched it and I loved it. Hi, how you doing? I am Lungi. Welcome to my channel, Lungi Thinking Out Loud. And today I am talking about Trippin with the Kandasamys. Okay, so now what you need to know is Trippin with the Kandasamys is the third film in the Kandasamy franchise. The first one was Keeping Up with the Kandasamys. It came out in 2017. And the second one was Kandasamys The Wedding, which came out in 2019. So this current film continues with the Kandasamy family along with their neighbors, the Naidus. So this video is going to be in two parts. The first part, I'll just be providing you with a broad overview of the film. And then the second part is going to be me presenting you with life lessons and what we can learn and take away from the film. Yes, even comedies have life lessons. We can learn from anything if we just open to it. For better understanding of what's going on in this film, let me give you a character introduction. So it's the Kandasamy family with their neighbors, the Naidus. The Kandasamys is made up of the stunning Jennifer and her husband, the aloof Elvis. And Jennifer and Elvis have a daughter, the beautiful, the stunning Jody. And Elvis's mother, the ever so hilarious Aya. That lady is always threatening everybody that she's gonna die soon. Everything to her is because she's gonna die soon. Oh, you don't want to give me tea because I'm gonna die soon. It's that type of stuff. And then their neighbors, the Naidus, are made up of Shanti and her husband, Preggy. And now Shanti and Preggy have two sons, Prishan and the young one. Don't stress about the young one, what's his name, what he does, nothing. He's there, he never speaks, so don't worry about him. So Prishan is married to the Kandasamy daughter, Jody. They got married in the second film, which is Kandasamys The Wedding. Side note, Kandasamys The Wedding, if you want to watch it, is on Showmax. I'm not sure about the first one, if it's also on Showmax, but for sure, Kandasamys The Wedding is on Showmax. Now, to watch this film, you don't have to have watched the first two. You don't need to remember the storyline of the first two films. You can just simply jump into Trippin with the Kandasamys, enjoy the film, get the humor, relax, have a good day. Alright, so part one of Trippin with the Kandasamys. Let me give you a broad overview, the storyline. So, Jennifer and Shanti have been friends for a very long time. Now it's clear that they are the best of friends. They talk about everything, they do everything together. And funny enough, they share a common problem. They feel like something is missing in their relationships with their husbands. The fire is dying down, the spark is gone, that type of stuff. So they've decided that they want to go on a couples trip with just them and their husbands. Except their husbands have a different idea. Their husbands just want to spend time together, just the two of them, as in Elvis and Preggy. They got a bromance going on. They're the best of friends. They have fun together. They just want to continue having fun together without their wives. I mean, who does that? You married. Well, Preggy and Elvis do that, And there is a sub-storyline going on. Their children, Jody and Prishan, are stressing and worried over the fact that they have not conceived a child yet. As they've been married, they want to have a child, but they just can't. For some reason, they can't have a child yet. And of course, whenever they speak to their parents are always asking that question: when are you having children? When are you having children? Like, chill. But Jody and Prishan handle that very, very well. So going back to the main storyline. So Shanti and Jennifer are clearly under the impression that this is a couple's trip. It's a couple's retreat. But as I mentioned, their husbands have a different reason. And they hinted at them when they were leaving the house that we got a surprise for you. So I don't know why, but driving to the family home that they're renting for their vacation, they drove separately, as in the ladies drove together and the guys drove together. You see, I told you these guys just want to be together. I told you. So anyways, the ladies get there first. Jennifer and Shanti get there first. They surprised. Their children, Jody and Prishan, are there as well. Then they're like, what you two doing here? And they're surprised. We were told to come to surprise you, you know. And short time later, their husbands arrive with more people to a couple's getaway, to a couple's trip. Their husbands decided to bring everybody and some. Okay, their husbands show up with Aya, the grandmother, the little boy that never speaks, and a new member, Preggy's sister. And clearly, nobody likes Preggy's sister. Where has Preggy's sister been all this time now that we are meeting her on the third film? She's been in China doing something. Yeah, that's where she's been this whole time. Everybody's surprised she's back, but she's back. She's gorgeous, she's stunning, she's flirtatious. She got her eye on Elvis, Jennifer's husband. Oh, how dare you, girl. So yes, that's the situation. So the whole film now, it's Shanti and Jennifer trying to reconnect to their husbands, and their husband missing all the signs, all the hints, because these two guys just want to be together and avoid their wives. Even if when you watch the trailer, the guys say, on this trip, we're going to just make sure we avoid our wives. So mean. So basically, that's the movie in a nutshell. All right, moving on to the second part. What messages in this movie about life, love, relationships? What messages are there that we can learn from? What are the stuff that we can take away from this film as they depicted it? Remember, from this film as they told the stories. Okay, the first one. In long-term relationships, remember, these two couples have been married for over 25 years. In long-term relationships, the spark will fade, the fire will die. And that is obvious. There's very little intimacy between these two couples. There's very little sexual chemistry. There's no fire, you know. They just like two people that exist in the same house, really, especially Shanti and Preggy. It's like, okay, we just go through the motions. This is the life we have. Very, very little intimacy, very little sexual tension and all that, and fire. I want to grab you, hug you, none of that. And these people are married. Okay, and the ladies want that. There is a part where they talk about it, you know, how they want to rekindle the fire, the chemistry in their relationships. So it didn't happen because there were distractions everywhere. So what this movie is trying to tell us is, if you are not careful, if you're not looking out at your relationship, if you're not prioritizing the important things, the spark gonna die. And then what? Okay, the second lesson from this film is that someone will feel undervalued, unseen, unappreciated. Let's take Shanti first. Shanti is a mama bear. Shanti is a worker bee. Shanti is a carer. She's willing to go all out and love her family and care for her family and provide for her family. Whatever you need, however you prefer it, Shanti is willing to give it to you. She doesn't mind. That's just how she is. That's just how she shows her love to her family. Her issue is that her husband is not showing any appreciation for all that she does. He seems to expect that she'll do it. You know, like they will have visitors at the house, and Prega will just be like, you want tea? You want tea? Shanti, make us tea. Not, would you make us some tea, Shanti? Not I'm using these sweet words like, baby, would you make us some tea? Okay, these two are not in that baby love, sweetie They're not in that. They don't have that type of relationship, okay? But like Preggy is taking it all for granted. He's acting like, yeah, whatever. That's just Shanti. Shanti just does it, and Shanti will just do it. And all Shanti wants is a thank you, is a please, is some form of appreciation, recognition for all the efforts that she's putting in. And also for him to just randomly be the one that makes the tea, randomly be the one that prepares the lunch, so that she feels like she's given something as well. Because between those two, it seems like she gives and he takes and he doesn't mind. Okay, that's not fair. Okay, and then moving on to Jennifer and Elvis. Jennifer's issue is that she's always prided herself on her looks. And I mean, of course, years are getting on, she's getting older, and Elvis just doesn't act like he finds her beautiful anymore. She could talk about her looks, he would make a joke about it. Somebody said something about her age. Elvis found it funny. All Jennifer wants is to be seen as a beautiful person, a desirable woman by her husband, So now we know that this happens because this movie is telling us. Does it really happen in real life? I think it does. I really think it does. Okay, moving on to the third lesson that we can learn from this film. There will be a breakdown in communication. There will be a miscommunication. Somebody will not listen when you are communicating to them. And in this instance, the ladies were communicating that they want a couple's retreat. The men were not hearing it, hence they invited everybody. A couple's getaway ended up being some type of a family trip with everybody plus extra, So communication fades. And I really blame these two guys because they're just in their own bubble. They are in La La Land where all they want to do is spend time together, avoid their wives. There is a disregard for their wives' feelings. They're willing to lie as to where they are and what they are doing because they perceive their wives' questions and suggestions as whining. And that's a problem right there. Okay? And then the next lesson from this film, it's not based on this couple. The next lesson in this film is, pardon me, family members. You will have family members that will take advantage of you. We will have family members that are sneaky and manipulative and willing to use you to get what they want. And who plays that role here? Preggy's sister. She's flirting. She's being one of the boys. She's being buddy with everybody because she wants something from them. In our families, in the relationships that we have out there, we must be careful of people like that. That's one lesson from this film, okay? They almost lost a lot of money because they thought they were helping her out when in fact she was using them. The last lesson that I think we can all learn from this movie: stop asking people when they're having children. Stop asking couples, whether newly married or been married for 10 years, 15 years, 2 years, 2.5 years, when they're having children. You know how we will know when people are having children? When the woman in the relationship is pregnant. Then we'll know in a couple of months they'll be having children. You know when we'll know when they're having children? When they tell us on their own accord, because they want to share that information with us, that they are having children. The women in this movie, as in Shanti, Jennifer, and Aya, were bugging Jody and Prishan, asking them, when you're having kids, when am I becoming a grandmother? Oh, I want to become a grandmother. Aya wants to be a great-grandmother before she dies. And yet, Jody and Prishan are struggling with fertility issues. So all these questions and comments from their family was adding unnecessary pressure to their relationships. I think it would do us well to stop asking couples, people over a certain age, when they are having children. So that is all I have to say about Trippin with the Kandasamys. And thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and if you have anything to say, kindly leave a kind comment. Thank you. Bye.